All right, time for the Week 4 best bets. I have busted out my good luck backdrop again. Won big in Week 2 with this backdrop, lost the other 2 weeks with the plain old NFL backdrop. Now it's 6-6 overall on the best bets, so time to get things rolling in the right direction here in Week 4. There are 4 games I have my eye on. I'd like to start with the Green Bay Packers going on the road to face the Chicago Bears. Couple of point spread markets offered on BETDAQ here. Green Bay -1.5, Green Bay -2. I will take the 1.5 option because I do like the favored Packers here. Now, Green Bay obviously played extremely poorly last week, only produced 7 points in a road loss to Detroit, so a lot of people jumping ship on the Packers, thinking that maybe their time has finally run out and this just isn't that good a football team, because we know they're not that good on defense. It's always been that great offense that has been able to carry them through, and that offense just hasn't been that great so far this season, currently 26th in total yards per game. However, I think it's a little too early to panic, especially this week against this Chicago defense. It is very, very generous. The Bears not good on that side of the ball. They're especially bad against the run, surrendering nearly 150 rushing yards per game. Keep in mind, last season they surrendered over 160 rushing yards per game, so this is a definite problem for the Bears. This isn't just a 3-week fluke or anything. Last week, Green Bay faced a Detroit defense that ranks second in the league against the run, so Detroit's been playing very well on that side of the ball this season. The Packers were not able to do anything really through the air or on the ground. I think they're going to have some success both ways in this game. I think he's going to start on the ground. Eddie Lacy going to work up a head of steam. That's going to soften up that Chicago secondary. Aaron Rodgers will go to work. I think the Packers will beat the Bears today. I'm on them -1.5. Next game I'd like to talk about, the Detroit Lions traveling to New York to face the Jets. Detroit a 1-point favorite on BETDAQ. And I'm on the Jets here. I know, on paper, seems like the Lions should be a better team. As a matter of fact, seems like this specific matchup should be a good one for the Lions. The strength of their offense, of course, their passing attack, and the Jets, even though they are great against the run, not so good in the secondary, especially at the cornerback position. On the other side of the ball, the strength of the Detroit defense is up front against the run. Detroit's second against the run, as we mentioned. As a matter of fact, the only team in the NFL that has been better against the run this season than the Lions has been the Jets. That New York offense, they like to run the ball. A run-first offense, so it will be strength versus strength when they're on the field against this Detroit defense. So like I said, it would seem like it's a good matchup for Detroit. I tell you what, though, I'm letting gut feeling and instinct trump reason here. Listen, call it hunch or whatever you want. Call it watching the Detroit Lions for 15 years. This is the type of game that Detroit loses. We saw their only game on the road this season. They went and played a Carolina team that's very similar stylistically to the Jets, and they did not fare well in that game. Their offense producing just 7 points in a loss. I think this is going to be an ugly game in New York today. I think the Jets are going to eke by somehow, some way. Like them to beat the Lions outright, so I think they're a good bet as a 1-point home underdog. Next game I'd like to talk about, an afternoon game, a later game. The Jacksonville Jaguars traveling out to San Diego to face the Chargers. San Diego a 13-point favorite on BETDAQ, and that big 13-point number has scared some people off the favorites here. Not me. I am jumping right in. Was on Indianapolis -7.5 last week against Jacksonville. They were up 30-0 at half. I kicked myself for this year getting off the fade the Jags train that was so profitable for us last season. Just didn't play on either one of the first 2 Jags games at all. In Week 2, actually thought they might be a good bet as a 6-point underdog in Washington. Boy, was I wrong there. After seeing them the last couple of weeks, I've come back to my senses. This Jaguars team, the worst team in the NFL, far and away. They've allowed more points over the first 3 games of the season than any NFL team has allowed over the first 3 games of any season since the 1970 AFL-NFL merger. Their offense isn't much better, averaging fewer than 15 points per game this year. Rookie quarterback Blake Bortles making his first career start on the road against the San Diego defense that has been excellent this season. The Chargers' only home game this year, remember, they beat defending Super Bowl champion Seattle, hung 30 points on that Seahawks defense. I don't think the Jags have any chance here. Really, your only hope, if you're backing the Jags, is some sort of strange backdoor cover. Like I said in the preview video for the game, any Jacksonville argument here has to begin and end with, boy, that is a lot of points. And it is a lot of points, but I don't think it's too many. I think San Diego covers the 13. I think they will be covering the 13 at halftime. So, like the Chargers in a big way in that game. Final game, the night game, and I'm taking the bait here, at least that's what it feels like. I like the New Orleans Saints on the road in Dallas. Saints a 3-point favorite on BETDAQ. Yes, it does feel like it's one of these suspicious feeling lines where bettors are tempted to bet on the Saints. Feels like bookmakers want you to bet on the Saints. Not surprisingly, Saints have been a popular public bet out in Las Vegas this week. That does concern me, no doubt about it, but the public isn't wrong all of the time. And look, I just think the Saints are a little bit better than they've shown so far this season. They're a team, much like the Green Bay Packers, even though not to the degree of the Packers, but I think a lot of people losing faith in the Saints. Last week they did cover over the Minnesota Vikings, but only produced 20 points against that Vikings defense, and that game was in the Superdome. This game on the road in Dallas, but keep in mind, the Cowboys really bad on the defensive side of the ball. That's what I just don't see here. I don't see how in Dallas, and I know the Saints play worse on the road than they do at home, but this game is on turf. It's not on natural grass. I don't see how the Cowboys are going to slow down this New Orleans offense, aside from last week. And I know the Saints did not play well offensively last week, but in their first two games, even though the Saints lost both of those games, their offense went up and down the field against both the Falcons and the Browns. So I don't think anything is really broken with this New Orleans offense. I think we're going to see that tonight. I think they're going to beat the Cowboys, really go up and down the field on this Dallas defense. I like the Saints to top 30 points and come out with a relatively easy victory. I think they're a good bet as a 3-point favorite, even though I am a little nervous about it just because of what we've seen as far as the betting patterns. There you have it. Those are my 4 games for this week 4. I like Green Bay minus 1.5 on the road in Chicago. I like the New York Jets at home, getting a point from Detroit. I like San Diego facing the Jacksonville Jaguars. Chargers a 13-point favorite there. And the nightcap, I like the New Orleans Saints minus 3 against the Dallas Cowboys. I wish you best of luck, whatever you decide to do this week, just so long as your interests don't conflict with my interests.